All right, welcome to Grace P. Johnson Stadium. End of one quarter of play, and you did not miss any action. We have no score, and the defenses have reigned supreme so far. Chris Clayton and Josh Reed with you here on the UNCP Sports Network. And Josh, defenses were dominant there in that first quarter of play as the two teams combined for 99 total yards of offense.
Well, I wouldn't say that necessarily the Newberry defense really dominated, whereas the Braves offense after a 2-week hiatus looked a little rusty out there. They did show some creativity out of there. The fans at home missed it, but on that Tyshawn Carter end around on the reverse pitch was great for a first down, but just couldn't capitalize. It's a little rusty. Receivers dropped a couple balls. Quarterbacks Josh Jones missing a couple throws, but it's great that the defense is keeping them in this game so far.
Absolutely. I like your attitude about it, too. UNCP, self-inflicted wounds, hoping that they can break free of that. Now, for UNCP, they are 1-1 on the year, and the rest makes sense because the Braves, last time they were out on the field for a real game was 3 weeks ago, September 8th, Hurricane Florence, wreaking havoc on their schedule and taking away 2 of their games. Newberry, meanwhile, has won their last 2, trying to build on that momentum, but right now, backed up at their own 1-yard line to start off the second quarter of play.
After a great punt from Isaac Parks, pinning him down deep.
Greg Ruff, the quarterback, set to throw. Well, that's an aggressive call from the Wolves downfield. He couldn't find the football. The intended wide receiver way down there was Keenan Lewis, and he lost sight of the ball.
Yeah, him and the defender both lost sight of the ball. You got to be careful with that Gibson out there with that late shove in the back of the receiver that could get called.
Keenan Lewis, again, the intended wide receiver, and it was UNCP all over him downfield.
Yes, Michael Clark with the coverage. Good coverage. Just keep your hands off the receiver downfield.
Ready, 3, take 3.
Newberry right at about their own 2-yard line. 3rd and 9. UNCP defensive linemen frothing at the mouth. Here's a golden opportunity.
Get that safety.
Pin their ears back. But instead, it's a handoff to Barnes, right side off tackle, looking for a hole, finds a crease, and he's going to be just short of a first down. 10-yard line where he's wrapped up. It'll be 4th and 1 for the Wolves.
You got to punt in this situation. You don't be that bold against this UNCP front.
So I think the run kind of caught UNCP off guard. Barnes found a crease with the lineman out in front. Almost got the first down.
This usually happens when teams backed up. They run a halfback draw late, try to see if something will pop or if it catch defense slipping. But nope, not today.
And Newberry will punt. And the good news for UNCP is they've been toying back and forth with the field position battle. They should have excellent field position with Devin Jones back to receive, standing at the Newberry 48. There's a low, sidewinding punt from Shea Rogers, and look at the roll on that sucker.
He should have fielded that. I get why he didn't. You don't want to kind of muff it. You don't want to get that sideways roll like that, but you could cut the ball down in midfield, but that's okay.
All the way to the 35. That's a 55-yard punt from Shea Rogers. Not a lot of height on it.
It's only in the air for about 20, 25 yards.
So UNCP, still not bad field position. 1st and 10, their own 35. It's their 4th drive of the game. The first 3 have been punt. So
ready,
far,
4,
the Braves
take 4.
sitting at 57 total yards of offense. The right hash, Josh Jones, the true freshman quarterback. Handoff straight up the gut, and is wrapped up and thrown down to the turf.
I'm glad the
I believe that was, I thought that was, that was McKinley Nelson on the carry there for a couple yards.
Hey, Lamar, check the scoreboard.
The
scoreboard says
first
quarter.
You got to let him knock some of the rust off. Everybody's knocking the rust off out here tonight.
There you go.
I like to see him get a nice rhythm once the offense starts moving.
And he had at least one drop pass as well, which didn't help Jones' stat line. 5 for 10 for 36 yards so far. 2nd and 9 for the offense at their own 36-yard line.
Ready, camera 4, taking camera 4.
3 wide receivers, 2 out to the left. A little bit of a shift as the tight end Jalen Nixon heads up to the line of scrimmage. Jones sets up the screen. That's Sheridan in the open field. Gets to near midfield, trying for a strip, driving the legs inside the 45-yard line. How about that play? Took advantage of the aggressive pass rush And the Braves are marching into Newberry territory with Sheridan on the screen pass.
When I tell you I've been pounding the table for Josh Sheridan to get involved in the screen game, if you get this guy in open space on second level defenders, he can make a lot of people miss, weave through the would-be tacklers and following his blockers, man. This guy is dynamic out of the backfield.
Give some credit to Cameron Hodges, the right guard downfield. Didn't necessarily lay down a pancake block, but he paved the way out in front.
And ready, camera
He led that convoy.
Hodges, the redshirt sophomore out of Kannapolis, North Carolina. Fresh set of downs for UNCP. They're at the Newberry 43. Draw play to Sheridan, wrapped up in the backfield. He's thrown down at the 49-yard line. Taking him down to the turf was Kieto Jordan out of Hopkins, South Carolina, the junior.
He had a lane, but it closed up real quick. You usually don't see teams run draw plays after they run the screenplay.
Loss of 5 yards.
Ready for it, take 4.
You don't want to be going in that direction just when you got your biggest play of the game.
Ready 3, take 3.
Quad Williams is the tailback. JoJo Spann getting the action. He's the slot wide receiver. His first action of the year. JoJo Grant, excuse me. Here's the throw right side into coverage. Batted down, incomplete. Looking for Jalen Nixon, the tight end. It'll be 3rd and 15 now. For UNCP, JoJo Grant has been hurt. The transfer from Winston-Salem State. Got some time last year. Played in 5 games. Had 11 catches, 116 yards. They're happy to see him out there.
Yeah, he used to have the Odell look going on. You see him on campus when I first got here. I was like, just like Odell Beckham. He's rocking that look. But hopefully he can play like Odell Beckham tonight because the team needs to get something going on offense.
It's been tough for him. Injuries throughout his career. He's in his 6th year in college football, and he has 6 career games played, mostly just due to injuries. Certainly a talented player. Here's Jones in the pocket, wrapped up in sack. The pocket collapsed around him, and the Braves go back to their own 46.
And taking replay in.
Not a lot Jones could do there, coming off the edge. Big number 99, Jamarcus Henderson, kind of leading the way, and then it was a team sack from there.
Yeah, so he doesn't get his record just yet, but another half a second he might get it. Hopefully he won't get it against us, but
the record you're referring to is 1 more tackle for loss, and he's the all-time school leader in that category. Braves with a 4th and 21. Their own 46-yard line.
31, take 1.
Isaac Parks out to boot it away. Gets a leg under this one. That one will bounce inside the 5. Pop in the air.
Oh my goodness.
Straddles the goal line. What a punt by Parks. Wow.
Guys, let's get in tight on
and Parks is fired up.
That's a perfect punt.
Yeah,
I mean, you as a punter, when your gunners don't even know where the ball is for it to, you get the perfect bounce, the perfect punt. Once again, I mean, what kind of punter outside of the NFL gets the ball inside, not just the 5, inside the 3-yard line on back-to-back punts? I mean, that's just wow.
Everyone take 1.
And Parks gets some daps on the sideline for good reason. Heck of a game so far for Isaac Parks. 4 punts, 46-yard average. He's pinned 3 inside the 20. That's what you want out of your punter. He's doing his job.
Can't get no better than that.
Especially in this type of game. Scoreless battle. 10:50 left in the first half.
Hey guys, get me in tight on the conversation between.
Thanks for joining us here on the UNCP Sports Network. Good crowd on hand here in Parents and Families Weekend
Newberry,
at Grace P. Johnson Stadium.
Right now.
Thank you to Sam Jelinek, our director and producer tonight. Bringing you the action.
Ready 3, take 3.
Newberry coming from South Carolina for this game. Last time these two teams played, Newberry really took it to UNCP. 28-6 victory for the Wolves over the Braves last season. And in that game, UNCP struggled on offense in that one as well. 77 total yards in the second half for UNCP in last season's loss.
Ready for take
I was present for that game. It wasn't very pretty, but what this team is showing that last team didn't is ability and confidence that they could score points or they could move the ball, but they just got to execute the plays.
Yeah, for UNCP, they scored 51 against Elizabeth City State. Before that, 20 points all within 10 minutes of play in the fourth quarter against Winston-Salem State in an awkward game ridden by lightning delays, and it was also played on a Sunday. The point is, they've shown glimpses. Just not so much tonight so far. Give credit to the Newberry defense. So again, the Wolves, 1st and 10 at their own 1-yard line. Look at this formation. This is an old school origins of football formation. A lot of backers, 4 horsemen. Ruff takes the snap. And off straight up the gut to Barnes. He's wrapped up and down at the 3-yard line. So gets a couple. Barnes is a great tailback to have if you are backed up at your own 1. Even if you meet him at the line of scrimmage, he's a hard guy to push backwards.
Yeah, he'll fall for at least 2 or 3 yards if you don't get him in the backfield before then. Nice peak for a big guy.
And coming back
now
out.
2nd and 8 for Newberry. Again, this is a Wolves offense that entered this game with 199 rushing yards per game. And thus far, they've been limited to 32. Only 53 total yards. Yep. Both defenses dominating. Ruff takes the snap. Again, Barnes up the middle, breaks a tackle into the 2nd level, and he barrels his way out across the 10 to the 12. Barnes has been an absolute workhorse in this game so far. 6 carries out of the team's 12. 1st down and 10 out to the 12-yard line.
Yeah, this UNCP front is going to make them earn each and every one of those yards. They're not going to give anything easy tonight.
So in the pistol set here is Newberry. Got a receiver coming in motion. Handoff right side to Barnes. Cuts it upfield. Lowers the shoulder, and he's out to the 19-yard line. Really feels like Barnes is starting to find a rhythm. Seeing those holes, and he gets 7 yards on that play.
Yeah, he found a nice little hole in the cutback lane and hit it real quick.
Still backed up inside their own 20. It's a 2nd and 3 here for Newberry.
33, take 3.
Yeah, you want to see those backside defenders really crash hard on the edge to prevent those cutback lanes.
The Wolves are led by head coach Todd Knight. He's in his 10th season at the helm. Here's the lefty Ruff. Still looking to throw outside the pocket. Collapsing, and he throws it away. Nice play by Ruff, giving his receivers time to make a play downfield. Waited to the last moment. Saw a sea of black jerseys closing in on him, and he just calmly throws it away.
Yeah, I really want to see Tyler Hinton get home again in this game. He's beating the tackle out wide, which when the quarterback steps up in the pocket like that, you want to cross the tackle's face so you can meet the quarterback before he has an opportunity to step up in that pocket.
T.Y. Hinton, an All-American, All-Region player last year. All-time career leaders in sack for UNCP. He has 3 so far this season in 2 games. There's a big 3rd and 3. 0 for 4 today on 3rd down is Newberry. Ruff looking to run. Gets the 1st down and more. Out across the 25. Bounces outside the numbers, and he's all the way up to the 35-yard line.
31, take 1.
That's what you don't want to see on 3rd down. You don't want to see the quarterback step up in the pocket. Not just step up in the pocket, but take off like that for a 1st down.
That's what makes Ruff's so dangerous. 16 yards on the scamper. Longest run of the day so far for the Wolves. He's got some serious wheels. It's an extra element for the defense to deal with.
Yeah, the 2 tackles on that play got washed out to either side of the line, and
Ready,
he's out wide open the whole day gap.
4 wide receivers now for Newberry. Ruff looking to throw. Takes off again. He's got some room. To the 45, and he slides down. 10-yard pickup for Ruff. Near another 1st down.
34, take 4.
Braves are struggling to contain him.
Yeah,
At this point, it's just call a pass play and let Ruff take off.
Yeah, they're holding up well in coverage, but you gotta be well alert of the QB run on that play, especially with the quarterback as dynamic as this.
Well, Newberry not across midfield yet. It's because this drive started at their own 1. Scoreless game here. 8 minutes left in the 1st half. 4 wideouts again. Ruff will fake to Barnes. Screen pass sails over the head of his intended wide receiver. Incomplete. Looking to hit Darius Clark. And he threw it to one of the coaches over there on the sideline.
He almost threw it to Sean Everett. That would have been his 2nd pick 6 in as many games.
Everett has 6 career interceptions, which is actually 4th in school history.
The last one he had was a beauty. Jumping the route of an intended receiver to nothing but green grass for 63 yards for it. Pick 6.
Yeah, that was against Elizabeth City State here 3 weeks ago on this very field. 2nd and 10 for Newberry at their own 46. Ruff with some time. Throws it deep downfield. Overthrows his man. Got to pull the string a little bit on that. He was trying to hit Markel Castle. And running stride for stride with him there in the open field was Jordan Howard, the outside linebacker. Now it's a 3rd and 10. Converted their first 3rd down of the game on this drive earlier on a rough scramble for 16 yards, sitting at 1 for 5. And this is a 3rd and long.
Yeah, I don't think the UNCP defense anticipated they'd be on the field still after having that great punt by Isaac Parks.
3 wide receivers, 2 to the right. Ruff takes the snap on a rollout. Got some pressure. Flag flies. Knocked out of bounds is Ruff, and I think there's a hold as well.
Yep.
At least that's the air, and it is against the Wolves.
Calling that.
Stay on that ref for me.
Get the call from our referee tonight, Rick St. George. And there it is, UNCP. Nice job containing Ruff that time outside of the pocket. And it would have been a hold anyway, but the Braves defense didn't allow Ruff to damage him with his legs once again.
Yeah, usually when you try to slide the pocket for a mobile quarterback like that, you had a couple guys trying to kind of execute the reach block, and they end up getting a fistful of jersey for a hold.
Devin Jones back to receive the punt from Shea Rogers. He boots it away. This is a pretty good one. Jones calls for a fair catch, retrieves it at his own 10. Well, the punters have been the stars so far. Of course, there's been some good defensive performances, but these punters are getting a lot of reps.
Oh yeah, especially Isaac Parks. I mean, I'm still in shock and awe that this guy was able to. Some punters don't do that in a single season, let alone a single half. I mean, just pinning them down inside, not the 5, the 3 twice.
Shea Rogers with 5 punts tonight. Isaac Parks has 4 of them.
Ready, 1, take 1.
Combined 9 punts here in this game between the 2 squads. You get the sense, Josh, this is going to be one of those games in which it's going to be a couple big plays that we look back on. Unless the offenses explode in the second half, there's going to be a few big plays that's going to put someone over the top, whether it's a fumble or an interception or a kick return. It's going to be one of those odd games.
Well, if someone doesn't score on defense or special teams in the air, we're going to need some kind of offensive explosion. But like I said, the offense have shown the ability to move the ball and make plays. They just got to execute those plays. One catch here, one made block there, and could have 7 points on the board.
That last drive for Newberry was actually the best drive of the game for either team. 9 plays, 45 yards. Problem is, it started at their own 1. Most of the time you get 45 yards in a drive, you're at least going to be in field goal range, but still in their own territory. So UNCP takes over, but another excellent punt. Braves backed up inside, or at their own 10-yard line.
And ready for take 4.
From the left hash, 3 wide receivers for UNCP. 2 out to the left. Hodges is the fullback. It's a pistol setup. Aaron Whitaker comes in motion.
It's Josh Dale at quarterback.
That's right. Josh Dale, the redshirt freshman's at quarterback, completes a pass to Hodges underneath. And that's actually a loss of 2. Chopped down in the backfield. Heck of a play defensively by Dale Rogers, the inside linebacker.
Hey, Isaiah, can you get me
that
tight
definitely
on,
was designed to be a
quarterback?
quick read. If you don't find any of your guys open on the play action, just toss it to the guy in the flat.
UNCP working from the right hash. Sam Vines now in there as the fullback after Hodges took that hit.
Now ready for take 4.
Tailback is Quad Williams. Again, Dale is in here replacing Josh Jones, who got the start. There's Williams the carry up the middle. Squirts through the line, but then he's met by a host of linebackers. Gain of 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and 8 now for UNCP.
Ready, 1, take 1.
Josh Dale has 1 start this year. Started the game against Winston-Salem State. Last week against Elizabeth City State. Not last week, last game. Of course, that was 3 weeks ago. But
last month.
That's right. Against the Vikings, he went 9 for 10 for 93 yards and a touchdown. So as impressive as Josh Jones has been, there's not a huge drop-off between the two so far. Dale is a capable quarterback himself. That's why the Braves are giving him a chance.
Oh yeah, on his one touchdown drive, he showed
Ready for
everything
take
that you
4.
would want from starting quarterback on that drive. Touch, precision.
They need it here, a 3rd and 7. Screen pass was not there. He fakes it, rolls out right side, throws it downfield on the sideline, and no one's there. Incomplete. Good effort there by Dale, but coverage was all over it, trying to hit Shamon Hicks there on the sideline. I think he was trying to hit McKinley Nelson for a screen, but he was bumped by a defensive lineman. Didn't allow him to
And replay out.
execute the play properly. So it's a 4th and 7 for UNCP, and we get to see one of the stars of the game, Isaac Parks.
1, take 1.
MVP so far.
Standing in his own end zone. Newberry feeling good. They're going to have likely some pretty good field position. Parks strides and boots it, and it's another beauty. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Fair caught at the 39-yard line. Goodness. What a punt by Parks, and the punt returner there was Bobby Irby. Nothing he could do but step back and take a fair catch.
Not only was it a high angle, but did you see the spiral on that punt? I mean, the way it came off his foot, you would have thought the guy launched it down the field for 40 yards.
48 yards to be exact, just in the air. Good hang time as well. So Newberry with solid field position. 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line. Again, their last drive was the best of the game, going 45 yards, resulted in a punt.
Ready 1, take 1.
Scoreless game, 5:38 left in the first half. Here's Greg Ruff in the offense. Barnes up the middle, finds a hole, breaks through arm tackles, and he's wrestled down at midfield. 11 yards for Austin Barnes. That's his best carry of the game.
Replay in.
Gotta wonder if UNCP defense getting a little bit fatigued. Not to make excuses, but they've been on the field a lot.
Replay out.
Yeah, they were just on the field less than 5 minutes ago. So, and it was a lengthy drive after starting at the 99 at the 1 yard line.
Here's a fresh set of downs right at midfield. 4 wide receivers. New quarterback in there for Newberry, by the way. It's Dre Harris. Completes the screen pass inside the 40-yard line on the move. That is Markel Castle.
Replay in.
So Dre Harris rips it and completes his first attempt of the game.
See ya. And replay
Dre
out.
Harris does have time this year.
So Yaville Morris with the whiff tackle on that one. You can't do that, especially on those quick screens.
The Wolves with a great opportunity here to break this scoreless game. Try to get something on the board. Take a lead going into the locker room. Snap to Harris, give it to Barnes. And Barnes has got room down the sideline all the way near the 20. Uh-oh, a little bit of shoving there in the secondary. That's broken up quickly. Heck of a run there by Barnes. And he is spotted at the 20-yard line. 19 yards on the run play right side. Couldn't tell for a while whether or not Harris had kept it. They were both sprinting downfield. They both would have got a decent pickup.
Yeah, either one of them. If the quarterback could have pitched it late, he could have.
Take 4.
4 wide receivers here for Harris. Barnes the tailback to his left. Harris looking to run in the middle. Breaks down, lit up at the 20.
Ready 1, take 1.
Heck of a hit there in the open field. No gain for Harris.
Yeah, you like to see the Braves tighten up in the red zone, keep them to a field goal. If not, take them out of field goal range.
Ready 4, take 4.
Jordan Howard on that tackle. Started one game last year. A regular starting outside linebacker this season. He's played a pretty nice game so far. That was his second tackle. 2nd and 10 from the right hash. 4 wideouts for Harris. Handles the snap. Looking to run. Right side outside the pocket. Pointing downfield. There's a jump pass. Deflected, incomplete. Wow, you don't see that often. Harris leaps in the air. Launches it into a kind of a 50-50 ball range. And it falls to the grass. Incomplete, but a dangerous play.
Very dangerous. You don't want to, I mean, as cool as the pop pass is, you don't want to do that in the red zone and risk a potential turnover.
A lot of times you see a designed pop pass. That time I think Dre Harris just went for it.
Yeah, he thought he's got to make a play, and Michael Clark wasn't having none of it.
3rd and 10.
Ready 4, take 4.
Braves have been excellent on 3rd down defensively tonight. 1 for 6 is Newberry on 3rd down. Harris fakes the handoff, looking to throw. He's pressured, steps up in the pocket, wrestled down at the 24-yard line.
Ready, one, take one.
Big number 97, Taverine, the sophomore. Huge stop for UNCP, and it's going to force a 41-yard field goal attempt from Newberry.
And he closed on the quarterback quick on that play. They wouldn't let him get a field, not even for a second.
So now out to attempt this kick.
Ready, four, take four.
Will be Shea Rogers. He's been excellent
Ready,
this year
take
punting. And also as the kicker, 4 for 4 on field goals this season. And he boots that one through. 41 yards
Ready, three,
on the money, and we finally have points on the board. 3-0. Newberry takes the lead with 2:46 left here in the first half. The drive started with good field position, and they just kind of worked their way down the field against a UNCP defense that you give the Braves credit, they still held strong. But for Newberry, it's probably a boost of confidence for them just to get some points on the board.
Yeah, you like to see that bend but don't break defense. I mean, you like to blank them, but to hold them to a field goal was big in this point in the game. I mean, your offense hasn't really been executing; they've been a little rusty. But just to keep it a one-score game was big.
134 total yards now for Newberry. I think maybe the concern if you're UNCP, it's drives of 45 and then 38 yards the last two possessions for Newberry. But scoreboard's what's most important, and it's only 3-0. So anybody's ball game.
Yes, that is that run defense showed up in the first couple drives of the game. They've been a little leaky these last two drives. I mean, granted they've been on the field rather quickly, but you'd like to see them tighten up here going into the second half.
Well, both punters got to be MVPs for sure now. Shea Rogers with 5 excellent punts for Newberry. Now he has a field goal. And, of course, Isaac Parks has been big time for the Braves as well. You got to show the punters love when they get the opportunity. Not often they get to shine.
Best player on the field tonight has been Isaac Parks.
Rogers boots it away. And it's retrieved at the 1-yard line. It's Devin Jones for UNCP. Looking for a crease, wrapped up and taken down in the open field. He's down at the 12. Give credit there to the Newberry coverage squad, closing in on him quickly.
Yeah, you'd have liked to see the ball bounce into the end zone on that one, but sometimes with Devin, man, if he can find the crease, he's out there trying to make a play for his offense.
So one thing that's special about this game, both teams wearing the One Carolina sticker on their helmets. Of course, the devastation from Hurricane Florence hitting North and South Carolina hard. And there's a ton of schools from North and South Carolina of all divisions wearing that One Carolina sticker. Both schools wearing them tonight. There's a little scamper there from, that is Josh Jones. Gets a yard. Kind of an awkward little slide there. Took a little bit of a hit, but he got 1 yard ultimately. So Dale last drive, now it's back to Josh Jones.
Well, you try to inject some kind of change up to, I don't know, maybe get the defense off guard or just to see if one quarterback can do something where the other quarterback couldn't. But go back to the start, I agree with it.
2nd and 9 for UNCP at their own 13. Jones rolls out, lofts it towards the sideline. Diving attempt by Corey West, and he did make the catch. What a grab by West. 9 yards and a first down.
And Corey West, I mean, through these first couple of games, man, he's been the most sure-handed receiver for either quarterback, really. I mean, he knows how to find he knows how to find the soft spots in the zone and get open for first downs.
For West, that right there is his 4th catch of the game. On the season now, he's at 11 catches. To the right side, it's completion to Shimon Hicks out across the 25, driving the legs. Defense goes for a strip, but he holds on strong, gets to the 29. 7 yards for Hicks.
Shimon Hicks has shown a pretty good rapport with Josh Jones in this game, too.
Timeout taken by UNCP with under 2 minutes left on the clock. Hicks with his 3rd catch of the game that time. UNCP has actually been able to complete 9 passes in this game. Problem is they haven't gone very far. Typically they're underneath the Newberry defense, keeping everything in front of them.
No, you like to see some of those chunk plays that the Braves were able to get against Elizabeth City State and even Winston-Salem in Week 1. I like to see quarterback Josh Jones push the ball down the field a little bit more. They took a couple shots early in the first quarter, but you want to see them not just take those shots, but complete those shots downfield.
Only about 8 yards completion, 8 yards per completion so far for UNCP. In general, Braves are only at about 3 yards per play. Wolves defense has been strong this year, and it's been strong once again on the road. But we've seen it before. UNCP can explode. It felt like the Braves had no answers against Winston-Salem State, under 100 total yards into the fourth quarter. And a lightning delay took place, and the Braves all of a sudden exploded. So you never know. The Braves certainly have the talent. Just looking to find something that works for them and stick to it. 2nd and 3 for UNCP at their own 29. 4 wide receivers. Jones with some pressure, steps way back, bombs it downfield into coverage, and it is picked off. Nice play in the open field. Grabbed out of the sky by Balin English.
And had Jones got able to set his feet on that play, he could have hit Tyshawn Carter streaking across the middle of the field. But anytime you throw off the back foot like that, the odds are it's a 50-50 ball.
Nice catch by English there. As mentioned, he was trying to hit Tyshawn Carter, was right behind English, but he backtracked for it, made the grab. So Newberry gets the ball back. Minute and a half left at their own 45. 4 wideouts. Dre Harris, the quarterback steal. Quick screen completed right side, lit up in the backfield. Right at the line of scrimmage, it's a no gain.
Jordan Howard again?
I believe that was Jordan Howard, who's had an excellent game for UNCP so far.
Oh, he blew him up.
It was Howard, his 4th tackle of the game.
Textbook tackle.
Check that, 3rd tackle for him. He'll have to come out of the game shaken up after that big hit.
Yeah, sometimes when you lay the wood, you take some of the brunt of the damage yourself too. So as much as you dish out, you could receive a little bit.
Laid the lumber there to Dacian Kitchings. 2nd and 10 now for Newberry, right at their own 45. Clock winding down. 3 timeouts still for Newberry. Right side, ooh, nice play in the open field. Shifting and making it all the way up to the 41-yard line is Catrice Cook, the tailback. And the Wolves take a timeout with 58 seconds. So Newberry trying to get to field goal range for their excellent kicker, Shea Rogers. Making it up to the 40. Again, the UNCP defense here has been on the field for a while this quarter. The time of possession is equal overall, both teams with 14 minutes. But this second quarter, it's really felt like Newberry's had the ball more.
Most definitely, and with the defense, I mean, instead of they have been playing, keep limited to only 3 points, you don't want to see whiff tackles, missed tackles on those quick screens like that, because all it takes is one missed tackle and a guy can go streaking up the sideline for a first down or even more.
It's been an excellent weekend of sports here on the UNCP Sports Network. Had volleyball yesterday and a volleyball match earlier today as well. And then we cap things off here on a big weekend with UNCP football in a battle with Newberry. So here we go, 1st and 10 for Newberry at the UNCP 40. Ruff drops back, throws a middle, nearly a one-handed catch, had his man open. He's trying to hit Kitchings, but he couldn't pull it in. Good decision by Ruff. That'd be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the Newberry offense is really trying to neutralize this Braves pass rush by getting these quick hitters out of the quarterback's hands real quick. If not, you don't see anything that, like I said, they want them to take off.
Again, the Wolves took down UNCP 28-6 last year. This year a lot more competitive.
Oh.
Harris is pressured, throws it behind his
down.
head, and it's an incompletion thrown right side. So Harris just launches the ball. Certainly a dangerous pass.
That's a sack, sir.
Some folks calling for grounding.
His knee was down.
Well, it's a close play. But 3rd and 10 is the call regardless.
If only the referee would just turn around and look at the jumbotron.
Can't hear us from up here, unfortunately. So 3rd and 10 for Newberry. They're 1 of 7 on 3rd down. Their only 3rd down they've completed was a quarterback scramble from Greg Ruff. And now Harris is in there as the QB, of course. 48 seconds. Harris all the way back to midfield. Launches this one towards the end zone. That is too far over everyone's head. Hits near about 8 yards into the end zone.
Ready, 3, take 3.
Wow, Harris chucked that pass way over everyone's head.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, hey, try to give you guys a chance, but there were 3 Braves in the area more so than there was 1
Ready,
Newberry
4,
Wolf.
take 4.
Look to maybe catch UNCP off guard.
Ready, 1, take 1.
But now Newberry's going to have to punt. At least in a punt formation, a 4th and 10 at the Braves' 40-yard line. Here's Shea Rogers. This one's got a lot of mustard on it. Bounces at the 1. Coverage man didn't see it, unfortunately, and it bounces past him. That was Jahini Neal that couldn't catch sight of the football to down that one.
Yeah, he was
Touchback.
there in time and just get right behind his back.
Ready, 4, take 4.
See how aggressive UNCP is. 33 seconds, and they will have the ball at their own 20-yard line.
Ready, 3, take 3.
I mean, might as well take a shot deep. They got Tyshawn Carter. The guy's averaging almost 20 yards a catch. Maybe not in this game, but just give your guy a shot. I mean, you got nothing else to lose. You get the ball back at half.
Ready, 4, take 4.
In a 3-0 game. See how aggressive UNCP is. Braves so far 90 total yards of offense, only averaging about 3 yards per play. They will run it to Sheridan up the gut. Breaks 1 tackle. Up to the 30, still busting downfield all the way to the 33-yard line. What a run by Sheridan. And that is actually the longest run of the game for UNCP. And I believe the Braves are going to let the clock run out. Maybe not. A little hurry-up action. At least the offensive players are trying to hurry up. Down to 17 seconds and counting. So UNCP not terribly urgent here. And they will throw right side, complete up to the 45-yard line. And that will stop the clock with 1 second. Fresh set of downs, quick completion there to Whitaker on the slant. And now the clock runs out on the first half of action. Well, Braves did end up with over 100 yards, but the defenses for both teams have reigned supreme thus far. 3-0 is our score after 1 half of play. Austin Barnes kind of leading the way in this game for Newberry. He's got 9 carries for 62 yards. Now the Wolves do have over 100 yards rushing, but feels like defense is going to win this game for either of these teams ultimately.
I mean, yeah, the Braves offense have been off for 2 weeks, and it's really showing here in the first half. Really rusty, but you know, like I said, they're showing glimpses that they can move the ball, pick up plays in chunks. And I believe that they're going to go into this halftime, make the proper adjustments, and come out firing on all cylinders, hopefully in the second half, and that Braves defense, after they catch the breath over this next little reprieve, they'll come out just as stout as they were in the first half of the first quarter.
Well, 149 total yards for Newberry. UNCP sitting at 115 yards. Again, UNCP ending up with just about 4 yards per play, right about where Newberry is, as the Braves were able to up their stats in that category a little bit with the last few plays there of the half. Still a lot to be determined. We haven't had a lot of questions answered so far because it's such a close game. We do know that it's been a physical war up front, exactly what we predicted, and that has certainly come true as we have both teams looking to vie for position and find running lanes, which has been difficult thus far in this game. All right, we'll take a break. Again, the score, Newberry 3, UNCP nothing. First time Braves have been on the field in 3 weeks, and we'll see if they can come back here. Not much of a comeback, but technically make a comeback when we come back.
One touchdown and you win the game.
That's right. 1 touchdown, it's over. We'll be back in a few minutes here on the UNCP Sports Network. To the action here on the UNCP Sports Network. Chris Clayton and Josh Reed here with you. 3-0 is our score as we're just a few minutes away from the second half getting underway. Well, it was a first half marked by dominant defenses. Newberry was able to move the ball into field goal range and booted through a 40-yard field goal. That's the only scoring that we have so far. Ultimately, the Wolves 149 yards of offense, 115 for UNCP. Now, neither team has really been able to grab a foothold and consistently have good field position. So despite those yard totals, no one's really been in striking distance. Very often, both teams struggling on third down in this game. It's been impressive defense from both sides as we see Newberry has been able to run for just over 100 yards. But give credit to the Braves defense. Whenever Newberry seemed to be approaching scoring position, the UNCP defense held strong.
Yep, they would either stop him in the tracks or push him back out of field goal range. They're lucky they got one field goal on the board. But as impressive as this defensive battle has been, the battle between these two punters tonight has been. I mean, if you're a real fan of football and you enjoy good special teams as well as offense and defense, you've really been in for a sight tonight. I mean, Isaac Parks especially, man. Like, I'm gonna say it again, this to pin the other opposing team back inside their, not just their own 10, their own 5-yard line twice in one half. I mean, I'm excited to, whoever said that, I'm excited to see the punter in the second half. I am. I mean, this guy is on fire.
Isaac Parks, 5 punts, 46-yard average, 3 pinned inside the 20. For Newberry, Shea Rogers, he has 6 punts, 43-yard average, and he also has pinned the Braves inside their own 23 times. So you're talking about, like you said, Josh, an excellent performance from both of these punters. Now, both teams have played 2 quarterbacks, so that kind of shows you neither offense has been that much in sync. For UNCP, it's Josh Jones, who's 9 of 16 for 83 yards with an ill-advised throw over the middle. That's an interception for him. Josh Dale is 1 of 2 so far. It was actually a loss of a yard on that completion. For Newberry, Dre Harris, 3 of 7 for 27 yards, and Greg Ruff, 2 of 7 for 21 yards. So, like I said, neither passing attack has really been able to consistently show out here so far, as the Braves do have 82 pass yards, but that's on 10 completions. They've been a lot of underneath routes.
Yeah, and it's not that the Newberry has been playing excellent coverage on the game. It's just Brave receivers are either dropping passes or the quarterbacks aren't given enough time to get them open, throwing off their back feet. That's what happened on the interception there.
And the third quarter underway. It's a line drive kick booted out the end zone there for a touchback by Shea Rogers. So here we go. Braves starting off with possession in this third. 3rd and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Hopefully they made some good adjustments and knocked up some more of that rust at halftime, because they're in for a battle in the second half.
Josh Jones is the quarterback. Got a couple wide receivers out to the left. Now it's pistol set up with Sheridan behind him. Jones gives it to Sheridan, bounces off a lineman in Hodges, and then gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Nice tackle in the open field by Keto Jordan, the junior out of Hopkins, South Carolina. Hodges was forced into the backfield, kept his block, but ran right into Sheridan. Not much the tailback could do on that play.
That's what really impressed me with Josh Sheridan. When you think he's not getting any yards or no yards at all, he'll at least get you back to the line of scrimmage. Very often you'll see him get taken down in the backfield for a loss.
Braves again coming out with 4 wide receivers, 2nd and 10. Underneath route complete to Quad Williams. 2 defenders immediately on him. No gain again. That's a guy you want to get in the open field, Quadron Williams. But give credit to the Newberry defense. Not much Quad can do with 2 defenders bearing down on him immediately upon touching the ball.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. I mean, Quad, yeah, he's a big play guy. I mean, he had a 27-yard scamper in their last game against Elizabeth City State, and he's averaging about 7 yards per carry.
Sheridan now in there. 4 wide receivers for UNCP. On the left hash, 2 of 7 today on 3rd down of the Braves. Jones steps up, throws left sideline. Low pass, almost caught. Whitaker can't pull it in, and it's 4th and 10. Even if it's caught, it would have been a couple yards short.
Yeah, you want the receiver to get enough depth on that play, and then you want the quarterback to at least get him get him the ball. They threw it right at the sticks, right in front of the sticks, not at the sticks.
So here's Isaac Parks, put on a show so far. He's out to punt, standing at his own 10-yard line.
MVP.
Back to receive. It's Bobby Irby. Parks takes the snap and boots it away. Spiraling kick, retrieved inside his own 30. Irby's looking to move, and he's got room across midfield to the 40. Parks misses the tackle, but he is wrapped up as Irby all the way up to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, that was poor leg integrity by the UNCP special teams coverage unit on that play. After the first initial guy, I think they thought he maybe called for a fair catch because it seemed like nobody was really hustling to the ball. First guy whipped, and then he just found a lane up the crease.
Parks, give him some credit. He slowed him down, but ultimately
MVP.
That's right. Ultimately making the tackle there is Alex Richardson. Prime field position for Newberry, their best of the game by far, at the Braves' 25-yard line. Dre Harris still in at quarterback. Handoff to Barnes, moving towards the edge. Now he cuts it upfield, and he's wrapped up after 4 yards. A lot of Austin Barnes in this game. 10 carries now for him. And he's been able to rack up 66 yards.
10 tough carries.
Harris looks to the sideline. 3 wideouts and a tight end in the game. Braves with their 4-3 look defensively. So fake to Barnes. Harris rolls out. He's got plenty of room. First down inside the 15. The 14-yard line there, 8 yards for Dre Harris.
Yeah, just about the entire defense bit on the fake handoff there. Everybody bit. TY lost outside contain.
Well, when you pound Austin Barnes consistently and he's having success, those play actions start to work a little bit better. Fresh set it down to the Braves' 14-yard line. And off to Barnes. Hit in the backfield, wrestled down. Heck of a play there by T.Y. Hinton. Loss of about 2 yards.
Instant penetration by the entire defensive line on that play. Great hustle.
That'll be 2nd and 12. Push back a little bit. Hinton. You mentioned it, Josh lost contain on the previous play. That time he makes up for it. Bursting through.
Bend but don't break.
Newberry looks to the sideline where head coach Todd Knight and his staff stand, give the signal. There's a handoff up the middle to Barnes, lowers the shoulder, black jerseys all over him. Nice run though, he got out to 5 yards up to the 11. And yet another big 3rd down opportunity for the Braves defense.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to see is them pounding the ball up in the teeth of that defense like that. As stout as they are up front. Taverine and Dominique Davis.
3rd and 8. First down at the 4-yard line. Harris and the offense look to the sideline. Harris looking to throw into the end zone. Caught! What a catch! Pulled in for the game's first touchdown. Markel Castle on the reception, and it's 9-0 Newberry. Nice throw by Harris.
Yep, a little out and up on the wheel route.
Lofted it in beautifully. Castle jumped a little early. Kind of landing as he pulled that one in for a touchdown.
That's Castle's 4th touchdown on the year. Their leading scorer coming to this game with 3 touchdowns.
And for Dre Harris, his 2nd passing touchdown of the season. 10-0 Wolves. Big touchdown. Still a lot of time left on the clock. But UNCP has struggled on offense. We'll see if the Braves can start to move the football, needing to answer at this point. Drive started at the 25-yard line. Really, credit goes to Bobby Irby on that punt return. He set up Newberry's opportunity.
I mean, that's what great special teams can do for you. Set you up for success either by pinning the opposing team back or setting you up with a short field.
Devin Jones back to receive for UNCP along with Tyreek Ramser.
Hopefully Devin can give us some kind of spark in the return game to set us up in good field position.
Braves had possession to start off this third quarter, but they went 3 and out. One question here, we'll see who's in at quarterback for UNCP. You would guess Josh Jones. He's played most of this game and got the start, but Josh Dale's made an appearance as well.
And neither quarterback was able to find a rhythm when they've gotten in there. Hopefully we can find some better success on this next drive.
It's Kevin Weber set to kick it away. Booms it downfield. Right towards Jones and over the head of Jones. Nice kick by Weber. Some serious power on that one. Another touchback. So UNCP, offensively, the drive chart is not for the faint of heart. They've got punts on their first 5 drives, interception, clock ran out on a drive, and then a 3 and out and a punt to start off this third quarter.
Well, hopefully we can see some of that creativity that Braves displayed earlier in the game with some end arounds or some reverses or something, just to keep the defense off balance.
Ninth drive of the game for UNCP. Snap to Jones at quarterback. Sheridan busts through the first level, gets to the second level, down to the 30. 4 yards for Sheridan, maybe a little more.
It's a nice gain on first down for Josh Sheridan, just about 5 yards.
Josh Jones is coming out of the game for this play. Coming in to play the quarterback position here for UNCP is Tyshawn Carter.
Wildcat, that creativity. Need a spark.
With 5 wide receivers. Second and about 6 for UNCP. First time we've seen this formation tonight. Carter will throw. Left side, quick completion there out in the open field to Eric Price. Able to squirt forward for a few. Give him the 32-yard line, 3 yards. So how about that? Just a simple little bubble screen on a Wildcat.
And that's actually a decent gain on that play. I'm pretty sure the defense thought the whole time he was going to be running the ball, and that just having those 5 wide receivers out there were just somewhat of a decoy to try to fool them into thinking that he wasn't going to run, but indeed he did pass.
3rd and 3 for UNCP from the left hash. And it's a false start. Well, everyone moved except the ball was not snapped. That might have been an error there on the center. Dylan Best. And it's a snap infraction is the call. It is on Dylan Best, the redshirt sophomore center.
I believe this is Dylan's first game playing center, if I'm not mistaken. He made the team last year as a walk-on playing tackle, and then they moved him in the guard. Now they got him playing center. I guess the more you can do.
Redshirt sophomore out of Greenville, North Carolina. Braves, a tough situation now on 3rd down. Instead of 3rd and 3, it's 3rd and 8. UNCP already struggled on 3rd down tonight. Here's a completion left side, though. Juking and jiving Josh Sheridan for a first down to the 38.
He's their spark. Josh Sheridan has been the biggest playmaker for this Braves offense through the first 3 games of the season. And if anybody's going to get you back into this game, it's going to be that guy. Get him the ball in space and look what he does.
11 yards on that play. Defenders all over him. Made that play by himself. Now on the left hash, UNCP. Patient offensively. 10-0. Still anybody's game. Plenty of time on the clock here. Jones looking to throw. Pressure coming from the backside. Gonna have to throw it away, and he does, into the UNCP bench, and that'll be roughing the passer. A late flag comes in. Coming in to lay the hit there on
Jamarcus Henderson.
Number 99, one of the all-time great defensive linemen I've ever played for Newberry. Late hit there on the play. It's tough for a defensive lineman to hold back sometimes when you get an opportunity to hit the quarterback. Well, it's hard to hold back.
Obviously, he hasn't been watching any NFL football. You can't touch the quarterback no more, I guess, at all levels of competition nowadays. You touch the quarterback, but no, that one was a blatant roughing the passer. He had thrown the ball away and just shoved on the ground like that. You don't want to see that.
Especially on third down. The Newberry coaches are not going to be happy there.
Oh, you got the coaches probably over there pulling their hair out.
So the Braves get the first down and all the way up to the Newberry 47-yard line. On the left hash, Hodges and Sheridan both in the backfield. Jones drops back. He's got a pocket. Throws it deep downfield. Inside the 15. Almost picked. Ultimately incomplete. Quay Threet, the intended wide receiver, almost picked off there by David Vereen.
It's holding or pass interference on a defender.
There's a flag down at the 35-yard line.
Definitely in the secondary.
Let's get the call from Rick St. George. And it's a hold against Newberry. Holding in the secondary, as you mentioned, Josh, and another automatic first down for the Braves.
See, that's what you don't want to do with the offense that's struggling. You don't want to give them free yards.
Now a roughing the passer and a holding on the Newberry defense this drive. Marching UNCP down the field, trying to answer after the Wolves were able to pick up a touchdown last drive. At the Wolves' 37-yard line, the UNCP offense. Jones. The screen set up, lofts it to Sheridan, can't make the catch. Thrown high intentionally because Jones had defenders bearing down on him. Sheridan couldn't pull it in.
Well, I think it was better that he did not pull it in because there were some defenders right in his face. Had he caught that ball, he would have definitely gotten hit.
2nd and 10 now for UNCP. Jones now 11 and 19 on the game. 11 completions, but only 94 yards. Credit the Wolves secondary. They've been fantastic tonight. Also have an interception. Here's a handoff to Sheridan. Got a hole inside the 30. Cuts it upfield down to the 21-yard line.
What I tell you, man, Josh Sheridan, he is the spark. He is the cog that makes this offense run, man. If you get him the ball in space, he gets to the second level, he's making guys miss. Look at that nifty footwork on that play.
15 yards, marked at the 22. He almost fumbled there late. I believe he was called down anyway, but Sheridan was able to retrieve it after that 15-yard carry. 33 yards rushing on 8 carries now for the Braves redshirt junior tailback. Jones looking to throw, right side, lofts it towards the end zone, jostling for position, incomplete. Marcus McDonald, the intended wide receiver. No flag. UNCP fans not happy with that.
Well, the defensive back turned around to look at the ball, make a play on the ball late. And even if it's the last second, as long as you turn your head and make it look like you're playing the ball, not the man, they're not going to call it.
It's a good throw by Jones, putting it in a nice spot for McDonald. But again, there's the Newberry secondary. They have really been consistent tonight. They haven't really blown any coverages, and 50-50 balls, they've been winning them so far. 2nd and 10 for UNCP. There's a handoff to Sheridan. Looking to cut it up the middle, and he's taken down. Loss of a yard on the play. Flag, though, down at the 20-yard line.
It's most likely going to be a hold on UNCP.
And it is on UNCP as St. George looks to Todd Knight on the Newberry sideline for whether or not he'll accept it. It's either going to be 3rd and 11 or 2nd and about 20. And it was accepted. That was on Timon McMillan, the left guard. So the Braves will move all the way back to the 32-yard line. But again, it could have been 3rd and 11, so the Braves now with a couple plays to try and pick up these 20 yards, or at least just try and get back into field goal range, make this a one-possession game again. 3 wideouts in there for UNCP, 2 to the left. Jones fakes the handoff, throws middle, complete to Grant. Inside the 20, is thrown down to the 18. Wow, a somersault. And it's a nice pickup for UNCP. They pick up 14 on JoJo Grant's first catch of the season.
And I was just about to say on the previous play that I'd like to see the Braves tack the middle of the defense on an intermediate level. They've been trying to push the ball downfield, down the sidelines, and on the perimeters, but to no success. I'd like to see them like what he just did on the previous play and tack the middle, tack the seams, and do intermediate routes.
It was English there on the tackle. So for UNCP, looking at a 3rd and 6. Grant comes in motion across the formation. One of 3 wide receivers in there. Nixon's the tight end. Joan takes the snap. In the flat, hits Sheridan. Looking for a room to run here, and he's taken down quickly. Fumbled the football late, and he's called down. The official says no, he's down anyway. He's taken down at the 15-yard line. Just shy of a first down. It'll be 3rd and 3. 4th and 3, excuse me. Now the Braves are in field goal range. Decision time for UNCP. Alex Alvarado is 2 for 3 this year with a long of 37. And here comes the field goal unit trying to make this a 1-possession game for UNCP.
Oh yeah, when you don't have any points on the board as of yet, and this is the first time you've been really in the red zone, you got to take the points where you can get them.
So officially this will be a 32-yard field goal attempt for Alvarado. Austin Foley is the holder. Hold is good. The kick is up and no good.
Oh, just pushed it to the right.
Still a 2-possession game. Just missed it plenty of distance. It was high in the air and he missed it to the right. So UNCP still finds themselves down 10-0. After a nice drive, they're getting themselves in position to score. They were gifted with a couple of big penalties at roughing the passer and a defensive holding. But UNCP could not cash in and come up empty. Still a lot of time on the clock, but that's a tough one to swallow if you're UNCP.
Yeah, it's not a daunting deficit that they're facing. It's just 10 points, like I said, 2 scores, and you're back in this game. But, I mean, when you squander your best field position of the game so far, I mean, it could be debilitating, but you don't want to get too low. I mean, like I say, they showed great promise on that drive, moving the ball down the field, getting the ball into the hands of their playmakers like Josh Sheridan, but you want to see them do that with some more consistency on the next drive and punch it in.
So Newberry looking to really replicate what they did last drive. 9 plays and 60 yards, and they also milked 5 minutes off the clock. Well, it's still plenty of time as we discussed, but the way Newberry's defense has been playing, the more time taken off the clock, the Wolves are feeling good because UNCP has not proven so far that they can score quickly.
No, even they have moved the ball. It's been time-consuming drives. It's actually weird because they're in the previous 2 matchups, UNCP against Elizabeth City State and Winston-Salem, the Braves' average scoring drive was about 3 minutes long, so they showed the ability to score quickly, but you'd like to see some of that in this game.
Well, it was kind of get the feel of the Winston-Salem State game. UNCP was down 16-0. Game was delayed due to lightning with about 10 minutes left in the 4th. All of a sudden, UNCP exploded. So at any moment, we could see the Braves explode. They're a young team just trying to find that consistency. Fresh drive, though, for Newberry. Barnes. It's downhill. Wow, look at the strength. Out across the 30. What a game for Austin Barnes.
Yeah, you don't want to see this guy get ahead of his team heading towards you if you're a player to secondary.
Braves are doing such a good job early in this game against the run. But now you see why Newberry averages about 200 rush yards per game. They just wear you out, come right at you physical with the quarterbacks, Harris or Ruff, or with Austin Barnes. They've got a lot of options, and the offensive line's doing a great job as well. 31-yard line from the shotgun. Barnes right side, big hole, out across the 40 to midfield, lowers the shoulder, driving the legs up to the 41.
34, take 4.
Barnes with the run, brought down by Josh Mann.
That's 28 yards. They may get 27 yards there for Austin Barnes.
Yeah, they're really wearing down this Braves defense in the front right now. And as you can see, they're running just about every play. It's to the right side of that offensive line where they have all stout, heavy maulers at juniors.
And Tyquan Lyles is the right tackle. Austin Anderson, the right guard. Tyler Anderson, the center. They are really opening up lanes for this rushing attack. Up to the Braves 42. Harris throws right side, wide open space, and juke move inside the 25-yard line. That's Bobby Irby, who had a fantastic punt return earlier. This time he gets 18 on the quick pass play to the right side. He didn't have a defender within 10 yards of him when he caught it.
Yeah, once again, the Braves bit on the play fake, selling out on the run, and you got guys open.
credit the open field tackle by Josh Manns. If he's not able to make a play, who knows where Irby's going. Up to the Braves 24. Barnes again. This time he's swallowed up, but he keeps moving those legs and he gets a positive gain. He's actually marked at the 21-yard line. Give him 3 yards.
And you like to see the Braves not just push them back out of field goal range, but possibly even get a turnover here. When your offense is not performing like they're not tonight, you kind of got to give it some juice. You know, you got to force a turnover, give them some momentum so they can swing in your favor.
Under 4 left now in the third. 2nd and 7 for Newberry.
Ready for take 4.
Fake to Barnes. One-on-one coverage in the end zone. Just overthrew the intended wide receiver.
Harris's fastball is incomplete.
I believe it was Irby out there. Nice job in the one-on-one coverage situation by Michael Clark. And it was Irby. Irby, 2nd on the team this year in catches. Coming into this game with 12 of them. Tonight he's racked up a couple receptions. So a 3rd and 7.
It's nice tight coverage by Michael Clark on that play. Followed his man on the fade route. Didn't let him get any separation or make the catch.
Tonight, 2 of 9 on 3rd down is Newberry. One of them was a touchdown. Now a timeout taken by the Wolves. They understand the importance of this play. Braves can stay within 2 possessions, of course, with a field goal. But if you're Newberry, you get a touchdown here. Obviously, you go up 3 possessions with only 1 quarter roughly left to play. For UNCP, they were doing such a great job against the run early. Newberry has just worn them down up to 156 yards rushing. Led by 110 from Austin Barnes. Barnes is having himself a nice season as well. 390 rush yards on the year.
Well, yeah, that's what happens sometimes when it's a defensive game, and whenever you have a defensive battle, whatever team runs the ball better usually prevails in the end. But hopefully the Braves can push them back, make the field goal more difficult, or take them out of field goal range altogether.
So a big 3rd and 7 as both these teams have a little opportunity to regroup. UNCP defense probably appreciating this opportunity to rest. Newberry was actually the one who took the timeout, though. But the Wolves want to make sure they have the right play call.
Yeah, they're trying to put the nail in the coffin on this play right here. See if they can punch it in.
So UNCP actually has the advantage in terms of time of possession. Doesn't really feel that way. But when you can run the football as well as Newberry has, it can be kind of a debilitating feeling for the defense. It's a passing situation, you would think. 3rd and 7. Harris fakes, pressure, stumbles, still on his feet. Dre Harris on the move to the 20, near a 1st down now, and he's up to the 14. He may be a little short. He's right on where he needed to get the 1st down. What a play by Harris regardless of what happens here.
Oh, I know, to elude the sack and keep your awareness. He was looking downfield the whole time before he took off running.
And he's given the 1st down. What a run by Harris.
Oh.
Coming downhill right at him was Luke Brooks. A couple other defenders with opportunities. Dre Harris shows the athleticism late. Look at that little spin move. Got himself the 1st.
And Brooks has got to be kicking himself in the butt right now, and just to whip on that tackle. That tackle would have been a huge loss for Newberry.
Fresh set it down to the Braves 14. Up the middle, this is Cook, and he is wrapped up quickly. Loss of a yard actually at the 15-yard line.
Cook brought down by a big fair hug from Tajay
Lyles in the backfield to make the play. The tackle for loss for the senior out of Charlotte. 2nd and 11 now for Newberry. Clock ticking down. 2:36 left in the 3rd. 1st down available at the 4-yard line. 3 wideouts. Give it to Barnes up the middle. Cuts it upfield. Wrapped up and thrown down, though, by Taverine. 3 yards to the 13. Another 3rd down. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Even though the Braves will be playing pass on here, you want to make sure that you have somebody at least spying the keep. You're keeping you contained, and keeping your lane integrity on those rush lanes, so he doesn't try to cut up field to get the first down like he did on the last third down.
And comes in motion. Harris takes the snap, fakes middle. He'll run to the middle. Got some room inside the 10, but he's wrapped up and thrown down at the 9. There's a big stop for the UNCP defense. Braves with a brick wall formed there in the middle of the field, saying, Harris, you're not going to pick up a first down with your legs this time.
Like I said, they had the man spying him, and they kept the leg integrity on their rush lane, so he couldn't try to pick up the first down with his legs.
Got about 4 yards, but it's 4th and 5, and the field goal unit's out on the field with Shea Rogers. Already booted through a 40-yard field goal earlier. This time, it'll be a 26-yard. Kick is up, and it is through. Still a 2-possession game, though, not terribly damaging for the UNCP defense.
Nowhere near an insurmountable lead. Like I said, if we can get some of that fourth quarter Josh Jones magic, we'll be right back in this game and possibly even win it.
It's not like Braves haven't been able to move the ball through the air. They do have 113 pass yards tonight. They just haven't had really any chunk plays. They've tried to throw the ball downfield, but the secondary for Newberry has really done a fantastic job.
And what you'd like to see the Braves replicate is the success they had through the air on the last drive when they attacked the intermediate of the field. And when you can't find a receiver down the field, instead of trying to force it down the field for a big play, check it down to your running backs. Josh Sheridan has proven that he can make plays coming out of the backfield as a receiver to make guys miss and pick up those first downs and get those 10, 11, 15-yard plays.
Yeah, tonight Sheridan 3 catches for 35 yards. Quad Williams has a catch as well. So does Dylan Hodges, the fullback.
Got to get those backs involved in the passing game. Use all the weapons at your disposal.
Braves 165 yards tonight as we approach the fourth quarter. Just no points to show for it yet. As we've talked about throughout the broadcast, the Braves have moved the ball. Their field position just hasn't been great, and the Newberry defense has stepped up in big spots, specifically third down, in which the Braves are 3 for 10. There's boot deep by Kevin Weber. Goes into the end. Oh. Faked everyone out. I thought Jones was going to take that one out about 6 yards deep.
I thought he was too.
Keeping everybody on their toes. So here we go. UNCP to the 25-yard line. 1st and 10. 1:09 left in this third quarter.
Yeah, like you said, they've been able to move the ball, but it wasn't for the excellent punting from Shea Rogers. We probably have at least 9 points on the board by now. But each punter is pinning the other back deep. The only difference is Newberry's been able to drive length of the field where UNCP hasn't.
Their last drive, they did go 9 plays and 60 yards, all the way to Newberry 15. Here's Jones, bombs it deep downfield, looking for Tyshawn Carter. Leaps and knocked down, incomplete. Nice play in one-on-one coverage. David Vereen bats it out of the air.
And Tyshawn was behind. He had more than one step on this man. If he could just get a little more air underneath that ball, Tyshawn Carter would probably still be running into the end zone.
It's a nice throw by Jones. Maybe a little bit underthrown.
Just a little bit.
But again, it's Vereen who's been one of the cornerbacks and safeties that's been so impressive for the Wolves, making a play. And it's such a tough play for a defensive back when you're on an island with a receiver. But they've won most of those battles tonight, has Newberry's secondary.
Yeah, and I can really attribute it to just underthrown passes from the quarterbacks.
Jones, left side, underthrown, almost intercepted, incomplete.
It was almost undercut.
Tyshawn Carter, the intended receiver. Jones looked that way the whole time.
You like to see the freshman go through his reads a little before just staring down one receiver. Like I said, I'd like to see the Braves attack the intermediate, the seam, the middle of this defense. They've been playing single high safety pretty much all game long.
Get the feeling the Braves offense doesn't have a lot of rhythm or confidence right now. Looks a little bit out of sorts. Here's the 3rd and 10. Right side, Sheridan. Trying to make a play in the open field. Tripped up and down. Nice tackle. Clutch play by Alex Smith, the linebacker. 7 yards.
It's not very often you see Josh Sheridan get get taken down by one man, but those ankle tackles will get you sometimes.
It's 4th and 4 for UNCP. Actually make it a 4th and 3. And the punt unit comes out. Isaac Parks will boot it deep. Bobby Irby, waiting back to return this one. Had a big punt return earlier.
Ready, 1, take 1.
Parks has booted the ball 6 times tonight. This will be his 7th punt. Kind of a low snap. Runs to his right. Uh-oh. He's going to run it. He thought he couldn't get that one away. The snap was low and to the right. He thought the defense was on him. So he thought kill, and tried to run it, but
yeah, he had time to kick it. I don't know why he decided to. Yeah, I don't understand the reasoning behind that play. You had more than enough time. I mean, neither team has really been pressuring the opposing team's punters tonight. They've not really bringing a lot of pressure. Pretty much playing max protection on those punt. I don't get that at all.
Tough break. Parks has been fantastic. Just a little bit of a mental mistake. See if the UNCP defense can hold strong here. Just a few seconds left in the 3rd quarter. 3 wideouts for Harris. Braves 27. Fake it to Barnes, looking to run. Defense is all over him, and he's thrown out of bounds. Took a big hit right at the line of scrimmage. Nice hit by Sean Everett.
Yeah, this is where the Braves defense is going to have to make a stand. They're going to have to push him back and try to make it not 3rd and manageable, but push them back so they won't be able to get a field goal on this drive.
Well, now we go into the 4th quarter. That'll do it for the 3rd. Again, our score, Newberry 13, UNCP nothing. Not a lot of big plays in this game, but the Braves are hoping the big plays are still ahead. Still an entire quarter left of football. You know, frankly, it feels like UNCP is kind of being dominated here. But they really aren't. It's only 13-0. Most games when you're down 13 points, you're thinking, okay, it's anybody's game. But because Braves don't have any points on the scoreboard, it really feels worse. But the point is here, a couple big plays, and I think the mood in this stadium is going to absolutely change.
Yeah, you got to give your hats off to the Braves defense. I mean, yes, they've been bending, but they haven't been breaking. They've only surrendered 1 touchdown in this game. We're through 3 quarters of ball, and it's only 13-0 with your offense playing as poorly as they have through the first 3 quarters. But let's hope these last 15 minutes they can find something and get this ball moving.
Hey guys, can you show me the
UNCP, give you some numbers in this game so far. 168 yards for the Braves compared to 244 for Newberry. So again, there's not a massive difference there. It's where UNCP has struggled offensively, not been able to run the ball very well. 48 yards rushing so far for UNCP, right at about 3 yards per carry for the Braves, led by Josh Sheridan's 33 yards rushing. On the other side for Newberry, they've been able to control things, 167 yards rushing for them. Both teams have struggled on 3rd down. Both are 3 for 11. Newberry, though, has picked up some important 3rd downs in this half so far.
Some clutch 3rd downs, really, just to get themselves in scoring position, extend drives.
2 for 3 in that 3rd quarter on 3rd down there was Newberry. Let's get things started in the 4th. Dre Harris bounces off the back of a defender, incomplete. Nearly intercepted off his back. BK, Kimbe Kearney, would have had a chance at a pick, didn't see the ball, and then his teammate almost picked one up off his back. Off his helmet, actually.
But Kimbe was a little lucky right there that the ball was underthrown, because his man definitely had more than 4 or 5 steps on him. That would have been a touchdown had it been an accurate ball.
Well, it's a 3rd and 10. From this spot, it'd be a 44-yard field goal. Don't be shocked here if Newberry runs it to make a more manageable field goal for Shea Rogers.
Beware the draw play.
Snap to Harris. He fakes run. He'll run himself, though. Now he'll throw late for the pylon. Caught for a touchdown. What a throw on the move by Harris. Markel Castle, his 2nd score of the game. Another 3rd down passing touchdown. The 2nd of the game, both to Castle. Got past Devin Jones for the score.
Yeah, Devin Jones, solid quarterback.
5 penalties tonight. Did have a roughing the passer earlier.
Our promise,
But
your opportunity.
for the Wolves,
UNCP.edu.
not a lot of penalties, not a
I
lot of
have big
blown
plans for my
assignments.
future.
It's a
From
Wolves
here.
team that deserves a ton of credit.
When you play relatively clean football, you can run the ball and play some stout defense and good special teams. That's usually key to victory.
Well, still an entire quarter left to play. UNCP down 20-0. Good news is the last 10 minutes against Winston-Salem State, Braves had 20 points. Hoping to replicate that in this one. They've proven they can do it. In terms of a explosive comeback, they're going to need another one here. Kick deep. Now it's a Kevin Weber. About 5 yards deep. Devin Jones looking for a crease. He'll take it out. Big block back at the 5-yard line. Jones makes it out to the 16. And now we got a couple late flags, and I think it's going to be a late personal foul on UNCP.
I believe that's on Newberry, number 34.
Just kind of a Michael Aaron was in the area for UNCP, and it was Isaiah Appling for Newberry. Kind of an exchange. A shove and some words.
It's Josh Dale in at quarterback now.
Yep, Dale's taking the field. Let's check the flag. Oh, it was on actually the kicker, Kevin Weber. It's not often you see a personal foul on the kickoff man.
Usually the only time you see a kicker get a personal foul is when he's trying to rip the guy down for a face mask and taking back one of his kicks.
Well, moving out to the 31 for UNCP. Helped out a lot by another penalty. Just praising Newberry on how they're not penalized very often. And just like that's a 15-yard penalty. Now it's 4 penalties for 50 yards today against the Wolves. 4 wideouts. Snap it to Dale. Dale now will take off and run out across the 35. Burst upfield. He's got some room. All the way near midfield. Josh Dale takes off. And he gets 19 on the scamper.
That was a great play, and his first read wasn't the run. He looked around the field. He tried to make his reads, and then just took off. When you see a lane like that, you got to hit it.
Heck of a pickup there for Dale. McKinley Nelson is the tailback.
Okay, so for some reason when I go to the replay, it's doing that now. That's great.
Dale fakes left, throws right. His completion on the money here, trying to get some room on his screens. Quay Threet, and he gets about 6 yards up to the 44.
False start and Quay threat. I don't believe he was set before the ball was snapped.
Not too many players lined up in the backfield, so there's just a mental error by UNCP. Threet picked up 6 yards, but they weren't lined up correctly.
Yeah, they had one receiver was on the ball and should have he was off the ball and he should have been on the ball.
So the Braves move back to their own 45, 1st and 15. Wideouts now for UNCP.
You want to see the Braves tempo up on this drive, trying to get some of that quick scoring in.
Dale brings a little bit more speed than Jones. See if Dale continues to go to his legs. He will throw for West.
Oh,
Tapped
no.
around. Almost caught by Whitaker. Hit about 3 or 4 players ultimately. Almost caught, almost picked, and then nearly about a 10-yard gain for UNCP.
Yeah, I don't know if I was watching volleyball or a pinball machine there for a second.
My goodness, it hit 4 players. Dale launched it in there through behind Corey West. And then Whitaker just couldn't quite pull in the deflection. 2nd and 15 for UNCP. Dale looking right, pressured, spins, and he's thrown down to the grass. Kieran Murphy, the defensive lineman, on the sack.
51 Murphy.
Cleaner pocket so you can get the ball downfield to his receivers.
3rd and 20. Obvious passing situation here for UNCP. 3 of 11 on 3rd down today. There's Dale, quick screen to Quad Williams, looking for a crease to the 45, and then he's thrown out of bounds right at about the 48-yard line. 8 yards, and they needed 20 of them. That'll be 4th and 12. And I think UNCP's going for it. They are. Josh Dale on the offense. And they are going for it. 4 wide receivers. 4th and 12 for UNCP. Down 3 possessions. Here's Dale. Pressured. Throws down the left sideline. Can't hit Quaythreet. Just a tad overthrown. And now UNCP really with their back against the wall at home.
Yeah, I get the aggressiveness. Like I said, you're trying to get your team back into this game. But I don't know. I just wouldn't have gave them that short of a field to work with. The way they've been moving the ball. At this point, you want to like, is the risk worth the reward? You could have had your. Your punter's been doing pretty good outside of the botched handoff. Botched punt really.
Yeah, when you're near midfield, a lot of the math, the numbers say you should go for it, but
not in that distance. 4th and 12.
Right.
4th and short, maybe 4th and intermediate. 4th and 12. I don't know about that.
Down 20-0. UNCP was trying to make a big play, but like you said, not able to make it happen. So Newberry now looks to milk some clock. It's going to be a jet sweep left side here, trying to hit some room is Darius Clark, bouncing off tacklers, and he gets inside the 45. Just a few yards, 3 yards on the play. Tell you what, give credit to Dre Harris. Harris did not get the start, didn't play in the first quarter really much at all. And now he's 6 of 12, 83 yards on 2 touchdowns. No interceptions for Harris.
Take three.
Both those passes come when he was scrambling on 3rd down. He has come ready to play, and it's paid dividends for his team. Redshirt freshman quarterback out of Greenville, South Carolina. He'll hand it off to Barnes up the middle. Patient run. Speared down at the 32-yard line by Colton Weeks. Braves' leading tackler this season makes a play in the open field. Another 3rd down. It's 3rd and 4 for Newberry.
Yeah, the Braves really need to stop right here. They need to get the ball back in the hands of their offense so they can possibly make something happen. You got just over 11 minutes left in this game. Gotta put something together here. It'd be a shame if they got shut out at home.
From the left hash, Harris in the Newberry offense. Looking to throw right side, and that's complete. Near a 1st down. I think he got enough. Up to the 37-yard line to Markel Castle. What a game Castle has played. That is his 4th catch. And he now has 56 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns for Castle as well.
Yeah, when the conversion or the play needs to be made, that's usually where he's looking, where the quarterback is looking.
Senior, 5'10", 180 out of New York, South Carolina. 3 out of his 4 catches have come on 3rd down. Give it to Barnes, right side. Another patient run. This time the defense meets him and will wrestle him down quickly. Amari Bryce Green, Tajay Lyles combining to make the play. No gain. Clock winding down, approaching 10 minutes. UNCP, likely when they get the football back, going to go into desperation mode.
Yeah, at this point it's all or nothing. The defense has really got to get off the field here in the next couple of plays to give their offense the chance of getting them back into this game.
4 wideouts. Here's Cook up the middle. Meets a host of tacklers, keeps those legs driving, but it's a 1-yard gain, and that's it for Cook. It'll be 3rd and 9 now. 3rd down, that is where Newberry's had a lot of success here in the second half. They are 4 of 5 on 3rd down. They were 1 of 8 on 3rd down in the first half. That's really been the biggest turnaround. It's a 3rd and 9 though. Braves 36.
And that's the weird thing. They've been converting 3rd and longs, whereas in the first half they couldn't convert 3rd and shorts.
I think that's part of what Dre Harris has been able to bring to this Newberry offense.
using the run to set up the pass.
Hinton with pressure, and he was
That's a-
held.
that's a
That's where
hold.
the flag is. The throw over the middle, incomplete. But again, T.Y. Hinton, he wanted the sack, but he was held, so this will be declined anyway in a 4th and 9 for Newberry. Rogers is an excellent kicker. I will say that. 53 yards would be the field goal attempt from here. And the penalty is accepted. So Coach Richardson doesn't even want to give Shea Rogers an opportunity for a long field goal. He's saying we'll take the penalty rather than the 4th and 9.
I agree. I agree with it. You don't want to give him any leeway that he give confidence that he might make this kick. I mean, the guy's perfect on the game now, 2 for 2. I mean, granted they were shorter kicks, but yeah, I say back him up to just about midfield, get off the field on this next play, and go to work on offense.
Ball right at about the 46-yard line. Ball, the first down rather, available at the 28. So third rather, and 18. Four wideouts for the Wolves. Irby comes in motion. Harris with some time. Throws middle, completes to Irby. Trying to get some room in the open field. Hit at the 41 and wrapped up. Gang tackle for UNCP. Gain of 5 yards, and they needed 18. So UNCP defense holds strong, and Coach Richardson's decision to accept the penalty pays off. Well, regardless of where, the UNCP offense is going to get the ball back. They're going to need to work quickly, though, down 3 possessions.
Most definitely, they're going to have to pretty much work hurry up offense up and down the field and hope to get a good return in the special teams and some more stops from their defense.
Shea Rogers back to punt it, standing at his own 44. Devin Jones, the return man for UNCP, back at his own 10. Newberry patient, letting that play clock run down. The kick will land at the 10, bounce all the way inside the 1. It goes in the end zone for a touchback. Another good punt by Rogers. His coverage unit, though, just couldn't retrieve that one before it bounced into the end zone. So, UNCP, here we go, down 20-0, 8 minutes, 11 seconds. And they need to work quickly, as I mentioned.
Yeah, I've been surprised that both teams really haven't been bringing any pressure on those punts. I mean, it's not like the punters are hurrying up to kick the ball. They're kind of taking the time a little bit. And like I said, after they blocked the punt in the last game against Lucy State here at Grace P. Johnson, I would have thought they would have brought some kind of pressure, especially down by 20 points in the 4th quarter.
Now, Josh Jones, I will say, he seems to be comfortable in the hurry-up offensive set. He's a guy that racked up major stats in high school. He led John T. Hoggard High School to the state semifinals at the highest level of football here in North Carolina. This was last year. He's a true freshman. 43 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions last season for Jones. So he had more of a spread, explosive, up-tempo offense in high school, and it seems like it's carried over. That's when he's the most comfortable, is when the Braves are in desperation mode. They're hoping that pays dividends.
Well, yeah, that's what you like to see out of your starting quarterback. You know, when the chips are down and your team is down, that they can, you know, put a team on their back, get them back into the game, rally the troops, and put some points on the board.
Overall, Jones stat line: 14 of 26 yards, or 14 of 26, 118 yards tonight. 1 interception on a ill-advised throw over the middle. Now, Josh Dale certainly hasn't played poorly. Dale is 2 for 5 for 7 yards. Also 14 rush yards for Dale. Jones hasn't. He's actually in the negative on the ground tonight. So each kind of bring a different look to the field. Right now it's Josh Jones in there at quarterback. Braves at their own 20. Down 20 points. Give it to Prince right side, met at the line of scrimmage and thrown down. No gain.
Yeah, I don't know if now's the time to be trying to run the ball to get back in the game. We need to air this ball out, get some chunk plays, get some quick plays, in and out, hurry up, huddle.
That's the first carry for Travis Prince. No gain. There's a 2nd and 10 for UNCP. 4 wideouts, trips to the right. Jones looks there. And it's a low pass that is caught. It's a nice catch on a slide there. Marcus McDonald only got about 4 yards, but it's a heck of a catch in the process. Clock under 7.5. 3rd and 6 now for UNCP.
Four wideouts, 2 to each side. Jones scrambles, still looking
let him go.
downfield, throws and completes it to Grant, out across the 25. It was at 28. There was a flag deep in the secondary at 34.
Hopefully it's on the defense. Braves could use a break right about now.
Officials talking things over. It's Grant's second catch of the game if it stands. And there it is, another penalty on Newberry.
Well, it gives
That
the
time,
Braves,
Nick Yearwood, the linebacker.
it gives the Braves somewhat new life, but like I said, they gotta kick it into high gear right now. They got 7 minutes left in this game, and they're down 3 scores. So,
Right, the question is, at what point do you start with a hurry up, 2-minute drill just because you are down 3 touchdowns? Braves are also looking for some kind of drive they can build on in the following weeks as well.
well, coming off like it's like a 2-week hiatus following the Elizabeth City State win, you want to show some kind of semblance that big win over Elizabeth City State wasn't a fluke or a flash in the pan. That it's a sign of what's to come, and that this is kind of a hiccup or bump in the road, as you will, as you continue this season.
Yeah, UNCP haven't played in a game since September 8th. They weren't able to practice together for 2 weeks. They did start practicing back on Sunday 6 days ago, but it's kind of an awkward situation when there's a wrench thrown in your routine of the fall season. So UNCP move up to the 35 with a defensive holding. Clock starts up again. Here's Jones. Little shovel pass underneath, and we got a flag on the play. Good job by Prince out across the 45. Mark about the 46. Got about 11 yards on the play. We'll check the flag. It's in the area that a flag is thrown for holding. And it is Cameron Hodges, the right guard, tackled holding. So for UNCP, there's their 6th penalty of the game for 45 yards.
Yeah, when you're not playing with much rhythm, you can't afford to give up 3 yards like that on a hold.
Back to 25, that'll be 1st and 20. Well, whatever happens here from here, it's still some time. 6:42 on the clock. UNCP next will be at home again. An opportunity to make up for this shortcoming. They host Wingate next Saturday. 4 wideouts for the Braves. Jones to Prince. Prince with a juke move at the 30. Stumbles forward. Nice run there up to the 32. 7 yards for Travis Prince.
Yeah, like I said, if you have any intention of winning or getting back in this game, I don't see the point in calling draw plays or run plays. Here we're down 20 points with 6 minutes left to go.
Got a shaken up player on the field. Second and 13 here for UNCP. But as I mentioned, for UNCP, it's also a situation where Newberry's a pretty good team, so they're thinking about the fact that they want some positive mojo moving forward. If they can put together a drive here, it's going to be a lot easier on the offensive players to keep confident as they look ahead to Wingate. Here's a completion to Grant, out across the 45, near midfield, driving the legs. Nice job by JoJo Grant. First appearance of the season for Grant, coming off an injury, and he just made his 3rd catch.
Yeah, you like to see the Braves show some kind of sign of life or sign of potential that moving forward, that they can put up points to compete with good teams. Like I said, it was a close game for the majority of this game. It just kind of got away from them in the end.
Jones is pressured, wheels around, tries to stay up, but he is sacked. Jamarcus Henderson gets the sack.
Jones sacked by number 99, DeMarcus Henderson.
And now for Henderson, that is the school record. Tackles for loss.
And
He's
sacks.
now the all-time leader. What a career he has had. What a game he's had. He's been consistently in the backfield. That's only his 2nd tackle of the game, but he has certainly made his presence felt throughout this game. The senior out of Union, South Carolina.
Yeah, I don't know if they keep these stats in college football, but he's definitely been around and hitting the quarterback a whole lot. I mean, he did draw the roughing the passer penalty, but he's been in both quarterbacks, Josh Dale and Josh Jones' face all night long.
All right, the advanced stats certainly in his favor as he has wreaked havoc on the UNCP offensive line, as he's been able to do pretty much everyone every week.
Yeah, you wouldn't think the guy's not even 6 foot, 230. You know, ideally you're like, oh, I mean, that doesn't sound like too much of a scare. But I mean, the way he's playing, I mean, the guy has a high motor, and he's displaying some great pass rush moves out there.
Yeah, 5'10", 230. There's not a lot of dominant defensive linemen at that size, but he certainly is that way. On the other side for UNCP, T.Y. Hinton at 6 feet, 230. He's also a dominant force, so kind of undersized pass rushers and excellent defensive linemen
But you
on
know, the
both teams.
good thing about those undersized defensive linemen is they can get under the pads of the offensive linemen, those tackles real quick and real well. Use that strength in their favor.
UNCP's got a 2nd and 22 at their own 36. Here's Jones throwing left. That's complete on the money at about the 40-yard line to Marcus McDonald. Braves able to pick up 4 yards on the play. So again, Jones has been able to complete passes. He now has 18 completions, but only 147 yards to show for it. Jones, some pressure, rolling left, chucks it into the sideline, off the hands of his receiver. Excellent coverage there in a one-on-one situation was Dwayne Harvin, the defensive back.
Yeah, as good as this offensive line was playing at the onset of this game, they've really like similar to the defensive line on the other side of the ball, kind of deteriorated as the game went on, and what was somewhat of a wall has sprung some leaks.
So UNCP's got the punt unit out on the field. 4th and 18 at their own 40. It's Bobby Irby back to receive. Isaac Parks, last time out, kind of a low snap. He ended up trying to run it, thinking the pass rush or the punt rush was coming up on him. This time he boots it away, and it's a good one. Irby traces back. Fair caught at the 9. Markham officially at the 10. And what a punt rather. That time it was 50 yards through the air.
Yeah, I guess Josh Sheridan and Isaac Parks have been the most consistent Braves performing this evening.
Yeah, Parks lets that mishap that he had earlier go by the wayside, focuses in, and boots it. So under 5 left. Newberry just looking to milk this clock down. Give some credit to the UNCP defense. They've only allowed 5 yards per play. So you got to give them credit in that respect. Newberry averaging under 5 yards per carry. 174 yards, but that's on a lot of carries. 36 of them to be exact. Left side, going off tackle. First carry of the game for Rashawn St. Hill. Excuse me, that's his second carry. Rashawn St. Hill is actually listed as first on the depth chart. Of course, Barnes has been the workhorse throughout the season. Hill is more of an explosive, speedy back, kind of a thunder and lightning setup with Austin Barnes. Hill averaging 5.5 yards per carry this season.
I think their game plan coming into this game was to use more of the ground and pound back, more so than the scat back, change of pace back, and it's worked. It's worked in this game. It's definitely wore down this defensive front quite a bit.
St. Hill again. UNCP chases him down. It's a gain of about 4 yards. There's Brian McAllister on the tackle for UNCP. It's 3rd and 1 here for the Wolves.
You like to see the Braves stuff them on display, give the offense one more chance to just show something here in front of the home crowd on Family and Friends Weekend.
Again, UNCP back at home next week. They host Wingate, 7 p.m. here in Grace B. Johnson Stadium. This is only the 3rd game of the year, of course, for the Braves. Haven't been on the field in 3 weeks, so still a lot to learn about this UNCP team. So fake by Harrison, he runs left side, looking for a crease out towards the edge, and he gets the first down on 3rd and 1 with the keeper to the 23. Give him about 4 yards on the play. So Dre Harris, 7 carries, 18 yards. Through the air, 2 touchdown passes on 93 yards passing. He didn't get the start, but he might have just earned himself the starting job with the way he's played here on the road against a very good Braves defense.
Most definitely. I mean, they're coming in riding a two-game win streak, and they're really hitting their stride. Whereas the Braves had a pause in their season. They're trying to pick up where they left off.
Here's a handoff to Cook, left side, getting around the edge, across the 30, lowers the shoulder, and he's near a first down. Catris Cook, sophomore at Gilbert, South Carolina. And the offensive line for Newberry, we probably haven't talked about them enough. They have been impressive. We mentioned coming into the game, they've got a lot of size up front, got a lot of talent there as well, and none of them are seniors. Left to right, it's sophomore, freshman, and then 3 juniors.
Yeah, but those juniors with them carry a lot of experience, though. They've been playing together for, I'm guessing, 3 years, excluding any transfers that might be on the starting lineup.
And they have been cohesive and impressive here in this game. Here's Cook again, left side. Cuts it upfield, up to the 34. Mark about the 35, another first down. 4 yards that time.
And the Braves haven't been trying to settle on the run. They've been loading the box. This is just when you got that kind of experience and cohesion. Like I said, these guys have been playing together all year long. They haven't had any reprieve in their play this season. They've played, well, going on 5 straight games now, and looking for their 3rd win of the season on a 2-game winning streak.
You think UNCP defensively, we talked about it, defensively UNCP probably feeling pretty good. They didn't play terribly there. They've been a little tired here this half. They've contained Newberry really for the most part. Offensively for the Braves, where do you think they can kind of make some adjustments and open things up offensively?
Well, like I said, they tried to push the ball down the field, vertically down the sidelines. But like I said, if they really focused on working the intermediate, and you like to see some of these tight ends. Jalen Nixon is a really big target. I feel like he could really do some damage down the seam and in the intermediate route. They just get him. Now they did try to get him the ball a couple times today. He didn't catch it, but like I said, just get him more involved. Work those intermediate. Like I said, work in the middle of the field more so. When you can't push the ball down the field on the perimeter, you got to work the middle of the field and pick up those chunk plays that they were picking up last time they were out here.
Well, I think a promising sign for UNCP's passing attack has been the performance of JoJo Grant. 3 catches, 35 yards for him. He hasn't been in every snap, probably about half of them, maybe a little less, but when he's been in there, he has certainly made an impact, and he's coming back from injury. Out of the hurricane, he looked fresh, and maybe he's a guy they can go to more often. A couple flags there on the play on the first down for Newberry. Down under a minute. Face mask called against the Braves. Braves with 7 penalties now for 60 yards.
Yeah, like we said, when you're coming off of, like I said, a short week, you've been off for 2 weeks. You lose some. I wouldn't say they lost some of their focus, but I mean, you lost some of your.
Some of that routine, some of that intensity. You know, it's impossible to replicate a game situation, and take a 3-week break in the middle of the season from playing a game is very rare, and UNCP probably paying the price in this game.
Especially coming off such a big win when they felt like they had a momentum. They were just hitting their stride as a team.
1st and 10 for Newberry after the penalty at the Braves 37. Oh, big hit in the backfield on Harris. Handed it off right side there to Cook. Tajay Lyles gets the tackle for loss there in the backfield. And under 20 seconds, this game is over. Give credit to Newberry. What a performance for the Wolves on the road as they topple UNCP 20-0. UNCP held strong. They stayed in it, made it competitive throughout, but ultimately the Wolves are too much for the Braves as Newberry improves to 3-2 on the young season, and UNCP falls down to 1-2 on the year. Give credit to Newberry, 325 total yards compared to 213 for the Braves. And that'll do it for our broadcast here on the UNCP Sports Network. Again, our final score, Newberry 20, UNCP nothing. And up next, the Braves will be back in action next weekend. They'll be back at home here hosting Wingate at 7 p.m. at Grace P. Johnson Stadium on Lumbee Guarantee Bank Field. Thank you to Josh Reed, also operating our cameras tonight, Brandon Hodge, Robert Hawkins, and Isaiah Diaz. Thank you to our director and producer tonight, Sam Jelinek. I'm Chris Clayton. Have a great night, and we'll be back next week with more broadcast of Brave Sports here on the UNCP Sports Network.